How the heck are you today?
How are you doing, Mr. French? How
Um,
are you doing?
I'm doing well now that we actually have the stream starting. I was getting a little nervous there that we were going to have major technical difficulties
Oh,
here.
come on now.
Make it
No
happen.
such
So
thing. No such thing. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, my friend.
thanks so much. Thanks so much. So life is good out on the West Coast. Nothing's on fire. Everybody's safe. Everything's going well out there. We just got pummeled with a bunch of snow out here in the east and ice, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm surprised you're in studio.
We didn't get hit that bad. It's
Okay.
just north of here. It iced up pretty bad. Some power outages, but down here where we are, it's actually not bad at all. So
That's cool.
yeah,
Okay.
that worked out. So want to welcome everyone for joining in. This is for those that may not know. I don't know how you could be interested in Bo Jackson Ballerina and not know, but we have Cheryl Miller with us here live on the stream today, and Cheryl was generous with her time at this year's national. I thought it would be great to have her come and maybe talk about what her experience has been since then, now that she's in the Griffey set. Some of her cards are out in the wild. Cheryl, I've only had my hand actually on one of your cards, and you actually have that card now because I sent it over to you so that you would have one to be able to make sure you have. There you go.
See it or like
Yep.
it is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
I love it.
Nice signature on that too.
Hey, the artwork and design blew me away. Blew me away. Anytime you can have me near the rim about the dunk with a ball with chains wrapped around it. Are you kidding me? It
Yep.
was it's fantastic. Absolutely one of the best cards I've ever signed in my life. So
Wow.
kudos.
Well, we
Kudos.
definitely love that, and we'll pass those flowers on to the entire team, Frank, the artist, and everyone who had a hand in it. Tell you what, for the audience, let's do a giveaway. I know that when you're on Whatnot, you got to have givey management, right? So why don't we let's actually start with a Storm Chaser hot dog. So Tony, why don't you throw that up as a givey and let folks get in? This is one of the all foil dogs. So Cheryl, in the game, this is how not serious people we are. So the way Cheryl Baum became a superhero is you got a hold of a radioactive hot dog and you ate that thing. It was glowing, and you turned into Cheryl Baum, and it gave you a power to even get further above the rim than where you normally operated. And this is a very special hot dog that you have to find in our championship edition boxes that celebrated the OKC championship from last year. And man, holy cow, they are the favorites. They are the favorites again. I don't know how much you follow that type of stuff, but they're like one of the worst bets I've ever seen. Is how much what you have to put. Like I think they're like plus 100 right now to win the championship. I mean, that's like a prohibitive favorite.
It's theirs to lose. It's theirs to lose. And now that they not only have an appetite for a championship, now they know how to.
Right, and the experience, right? Yeah, it makes a big difference. It definitely is. I mean, so like, who would you think is really there to challenge? I mean, I next in the odds, I'm pretty sure is San Antonio.
San Antonio.
The Celtics are getting Tatum back. I mean, one person, one big name like that can make a big difference. But the not the same team, I know, overall, top to bottom. But
and he's coming off a major injury.
Yeah.
That's my only cautionary tale with him coming back. The fact that he can come back is huge for the Celtics. But again, OKC, the coaching staff, they've got this thing now down to a science. And who are you going to stop? I mean, someone always is plugging in when they need it at the right time.
Mhm.
And SGA, I mean, he's the man. He's the man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I actually think, and I didn't get this out of my head. I actually glanced down at something. I see the Denver Nuggets are second, it looks like, in the odds with Jokic and
Denver. Yeah, but Jokic, you know what? They've got the experience. I'm sure they're hungry for, to get back into the action and not only just get back in the action, but be that significant subject matter.
Yep.
Like, yeah, these guys have a shot, more than a shot, and they're going to be the ones to possibly dethrone the champs. But again, it is OKC's to lose.
Yep. And so, Cheryl, when we look back at your career, so you won natties in 83, 84, right? Back to back freshman year or something.
Freshman, sophomore year.
Yep. And your team really did change the face of women's basketball. And one of the things that I don't want to do when I have a chance to talk to someone like you is just repeat everything else that everybody else talks about. But like, there's some of these moments in sport that really they do kind of change the way the game works. And I really do believe that your team changed the way women's basketball certainly was played and had an influence across the men's game and everything. And I know your documentary, for those that may not know, there's a documentary on HBO called Women of Troy.
Women of Troy.
And
yeah.
Talk about bad timing on release of that. Like that comes out right as COVID was hitting. And so this huge news cycle for that. And it's a great documentary. If you missed it when it came out, and it also then Jordan's Last Dance dropped right on top of it, go back and watch it, because it is a gem waiting to be discovered. And Cheryl, how was it like making that and reliving those moments? How involved were you in the making of the Women of Troy? And then, like, I know you did a lot of interviews and stuff in it, but like, what was that like to kind of relive some of that stuff?
Yeah,
right?
Bronson Wright, Jeff, was just the architect of just the whole movie, the direction, who he wanted involved. And that's the one thing I certainly didn't have my hand up. It was presented to me. I just wanted to make sure, all my sisters signed on to this project. It was a sight unseen, just roll up to our old gym where we used to practice at. I didn't know which of my teammates were going to show up. And at that time, we were kind of scattered to all different parts of the land. So there wasn't a whole lot of interaction with my former teammates. And once the movie started developing, and I'm finding out that my point guard who I room with, Rhonda Wyndham, I was able to watch her interview and listen to it. And it brought back, Jeff, so many memories, good and bad. And the bad for me was I didn't know a lot of the adversity that my teammates went through, like the struggles with the twins, Pam and Paula, and Paula with her relationship with Daryl Strawberry, and Cynthia Cooper and her brother, dying, and didn't even know that, wasn't even privy to that information. So it was a real eye-opener for me, Jeff, but a great way for us. That movie really reconnected all of us.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really great. And Cynthia Cooper, we were actually mentioning that ahead of time. I know y'all probably, anytime somebody has named Cooper, they get called Coop, and it's but in BoJackson Battle Arena, she is Koopa Nova. And Tony, why don't we go ahead and pull that winner on the Storm Dog, and let's give this Cynthia Cooper away as Cheryl and I talk about that. But Koopa Nova, and one of so 83 national championship, Kim Mulkey, who I can't remember who it was. Was it you that called? I can't remember if it was you or, and I know all of y'all are friendly and stuff now, but I'm sure back then it was just a battle of war, right? I heard somebody refer to her as the female Liberace, the way she kind of just dances to beat of her own drum with the flashy outfits and all this stuff. I can't remember who said that, but
she is the female Liberace now. As a player, it was the pigtails that drove you crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you just wanted to snatch her by the back
and drag her, yeah,
and then grab her down.
I believe it. I believe it. Yeah,
it was, and they were at the time the 2-time defending champs, and we were, and a lot of our swagger came from the Los Angeles Lakers. When you have
Showtime,
and you have Cooper and them, showing up at games, and we're in Los Angeles, so we had celebrities coming to our game.
Yep.
So we thought we were celebrities,
right?
We were
right.
Showtime.
And then in that era too, you had obviously USC. And then to have two big powerhouse schools, especially basketball history there at UCLA. And I mean, if I'd have been there, Cheryl, I think I'd have had to be at UCLA. I'm sorry, I think I would have had to be at UCLA
for men's basketball. Absolutely.
No, I mean for just me, because I'm so good looking. I heard you say that all the good looking dudes went to UCLA. I heard you
ain't never lied about that. That's the point. After that point, Debbie,
So. But anyway, so so for those that don't know the history of that was, so 83, Cynthia Cooper takes the charge Kim Mulkey, who Kim Mulkey's still salty about that to this day. You guys win the national championship. You come back next year, you win another one. And did you kind of at that point, did you think, man, I'm just going to
UCLA, which was
right. Yeah.
So that was good.
And tell them who the coach was that.
It was Pat Head Summit.
Yeah. And then what happened right after that? What happened right after that?
We were, the game was still going on, and I had made some sick move to the basket on the baseline. And prior to the game, one of my teammates had dared me, if you do something like sensational, you got to kick a cartwheel in front of Pat's bench. I was like, no, man, this is my Olympic coach. I can't do that.
And at that point, you already knew you were going to play for her in the Olympics.
First of all, I knew I was going to play for her. Now, I wasn't on the team. The team hadn't been selected, but that was my mindset, Jeff. We're making that team.
Yeah, I didn't know if they'd already actually set the roster at that point. I didn't know how the timing of that would have been.
No, exactly. That's where, I was like, as cocky as I am, I'm not going to poke a bear, especially a bear that has, the staff to say, no, we don't want you.
Yeah, and your playing time in her hands, right? I was soon to be.
Exactly, or even making the team. But I got caught up in the emotion, did a cartwheel. I kept it moving, though. I kept it moving, and it was a little further down, so I don't know if she saw it or not. But
that's awesome. That's awesome. But yeah, it's like, again, I don't want to just turn to all the stories that you've already told, but then coming in, winning the gold medal for America in United States. Did you, at that point, did you think that, all right, I got 2 in the bag? I mean, at that point in your mind, are you like, I'm here 4 years, I'm getting 4? I mean, is that what you were, is that what kind of what you were thinking, or did?
That's what I was hoping.
Hoping, of course, but like.
It was the game plan.
Yeah.
But I if I'm going to be 100% real with you, Jeff, I didn't realize how much I was going to miss Pam and Paula McGee. And you're talking about the Twin Towers. They anchored, our inside game, inside and out. Paula was outside. Pam was inside. They could switch. I could go down. Pam could stretch it. Paula could stretch the D at the free throw line, could put the ball on the floor. And I took for granted having those 2 talented sisters alongside. So by my junior year, the start of my junior year, we had a dip in recruiting. So it was basically my team, and it was going to fall all on my shoulders. And I was exhausted. 2 back-to-back championships, a gold medal, and our junior year, I had no gas. And we were able to have a good recruiting class my senior year, but we ran up against a buzzsaw in Texas.
Yeah.
Undefeated,
yeah, it was a historic season.
Mr. Davis, and went on to it was a tough way to end my senior year, but yeah, did I want to be greedy? Absolutely.
I hear you. I hear you.
It didn't turn out that way, but yeah, 2 championships out of 4 years wasn't too bad.
Yeah, and then that game, Cynthia Cooper, I know she actually ended up coming off the bench and starting finally in the I guess in the championship. Let's run that givey, Tony. Let's give the Cynthia Cooper card away here, and then so like after that, I'm gonna maybe circle back a little bit to the ACL injury and kind of some life after that, because I was just thinking on my drive in about a point that I wanted to make about that. So I'm gonna come back to that in a second, and kind of a parallel to Bo. But another thing that you then did, fast forwarding a little bit. So for those that may be in the audience that don't know, the WNBA didn't exist at this time. So Cheryl graduates from college, and there was no
86.
There was no WNBA. Cheryl actually got drafted into one of the competitor, I guess, upstart leagues to I don't know if it's, how would you call them? Would it be like a developmental league? But it was, what is it, ABA? Yeah. So you got drafted into a men's league, which is insane. I mean, that's utterly insane. But you went on and had an injury, which again we'll circle back to. But you ended up, when the W comes along, you were coach of a team, right?
The inaugural Phoenix Mercury team.
Right.
Yes.
And then on that Phoenix Mercury team, like, Nancy Lieberman, Lady Magic, who is also in Bo Jackson Battle. Yeah. Nancy Lieberman, who is good, she's like, what, 5, 6, 7 years older than you. Like
5 or 6.
She played for you. So she played for you on that team. Like, so what was the feel? We see the W today, and we see what it is, and we see how it's exploding, and how these young ladies are just taking that league to another level as far as popularity, the money they're getting, the off court stuff, and then you have the unrivaled leagues, and just there's so much going on. It's such a wonderful opportunity for everyone that's involved in that. But back then, this is the inaugural season. Just what was that like at the time? Did you like just I guess take us through that, what it felt like at the time?
It was crazy. Because at the time, the owner of the Phoenix Suns was Jerry Colangelo. And Brian Colangelo, his son, flew out to L.A. And, at the time, and this is right during or right after, I should say, the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta, and there was a separate women's professional league that evolved out of that. So that was going on. Now you have, David Stern, and we're looking at the WNBA, and now you got two professional leagues, and a lot of the players on the Olympic team were playing with this other professional team, and eventually they merged. And you see, some players um, stepped into the WNBA, and some players did not and decided to continue their careers overseas. But when I sat down with Brian, and he had, this great opportunity in front of me, and once I landed in Phoenix, we were selling out anywhere. I think our it was like 12 or 14,000 every game.
Really?
Best fans.
So right out the gate,
Right.
you're selling them out like that. Really?
We were sellouts for the first 3 years, and I remember grabbing the microphone after our first game, and I vaguely said something of, they said you wouldn't come. They said we weren't important. Well, Phoenix Mercury and the crowd just went nuts. Tonight. Now, by this time, I've jumped up and I'm standing on the announcer's podium, the broadcasting booth. So I'm standing there where everybody checks in. Crowd's going wild, got the microphone and just hyping them up. And I said, from here on out, you are our X Factor. And then I coined that name that the Mercury still refer to. They are the X Factor, best fans in the world. But I guess what I love the most is seeing people like Nancy come back and get an opportunity to play professionally. Certainly not at the level that she was when she was
almost 40, right?
And could still
Oh.
drop the dime. Could still drop the dime.
Nice.
Could still get you, even though it might have been slightly in slow-mo, kind of get you on skates with a little crossover and around the back pass. And I'm like, she still got that magic. She still has that magic. Then you flip it down to Houston, and then what in the world? Cynthia Cooper Nova comes out, and not only reinvents herself, but she took her game to a whole different level that I never saw or ever anticipated. Because you got to remember, Jeff, when in our college, when I played 82 to 86, there was no 3-point line.
Yep.
So it was the year after.
And that's one that I look at, and part of what I wanted to talk about there as we kind of go back and talk about the injury, because I do think I look at that Kupanova and look at her career, and I look at, y'all were the same age, and again, what could have been there. So one thing that we promised our folks here to help them, I'm not above bribing people to get them to tune in. So one of the things we promised folks, Cheryl, the Bo Jackson Battle Arena Griffey set that you're in, it's fairly well sold out everywhere. It's at Dick's, it's off the shelf so go ahead and load some megas up, and at Target it's off the shelf. So one of the things we're going to do for y'all right now is I'm going to have Tony drop in 100 of the double mega boxes into a flash sale. Limit one per person. These will ship sealed. So Tony, if you want to go ahead and load those up and throw them in, put whatever actual shipping is on it, and then we'll fire those up. And then go ahead and let's put up another Givey. Since I got it right here in my hand, how about a Cam Brink? So what do you think of Cam? And Tony, don't push him live until you tell me. Let me know before you push him live so I can tell the chat. I use that word chat. That's a weird word for me. If you're going to start doing any of this stuff live or podcast or something, Cheryl, I'm told that's a word we have to understand. The people that are watching, they're the chat. That seems weird to me. They feel more like, the audience, the folks that are tuning in, but that the shorthand word for that amongst the young folks is the chat. So
them youngins, okay, chat. We don't chat up these.
All right, so chat. I'm told that Tony is ready to turn these double megas on. It's gonna be limit one per person. So Tony, go ahead and turn that on, and we'll let those run and let it go for a couple minutes, and we'll see what happens here. So the people that are retailers for us that sell our product, Cheryl, they have this app on lockdown. They know how to do all this stuff. You're our first guest to kind of join us here, but it's really an interesting platform to see how live selling has progressed and how living in 2026, what a wild time to be alive. So There it is. All right. So I think that is now live. It's actually sold out. Wow. It was there for like 2 seconds and all 100 of those were gone. Wow.
Oh, very
Yeah,
good.
it's impressive stuff. The way this whole, like I said, it's kind of like QVC meets eBay. It's kind of crazy. So everyone stick around. We may actually have some much sought after hobby boxes as we move along later in the show. For those that saw, we actually had so Cheryl, so our factory where we make the game. We're still small compared to Big Cardboard, the names that and probably have contracts with where you sign for
Right.
that card. So we're still small, and so we have to really work to get factory time to get our game produced and that sort of thing. And we ended up behind a really big company, and they told us we were going to be late with the Griffey set, and it was not going to be able to ship until this year. And I was like, man, what are we going to do? I actually had Bo make some phone calls too, and got them to agree to let us send our office staff out there. So we sent all of our professional staff, from our CFO down to every warm body that we could spare, went out, and they worked for 8 weeks, 8+ weeks, some of them, to finish boxing the product out, working on the assembly line and get it out. And we got everything out that we had sold to all the stores and everything. And then we had like this last, probably call it 10% or so that was left to be done. And I got everybody back for Thanksgiving. The factory just finished that wrapping and boxing out because they had to finish that other job in front of us. Well, now a van left to go to our kind of biggest. We only have one online retailer called Star City Games, which everyone stay tuned because we're going to have a little information about that. But Star City Games, the product was going to them in a van, like one of these box van type things. It wasn't like a semi-tray. It's literally just a box van. Well, snowstorm hits. I wake up this morning to a picture of that van smashed against a tree. Driver was fine. Driver's fine. Nope, nobody was hurt. But the van looks probably totaled. I'm told that most of the product in the back is okay, but they said it did get slammed around. So it's just like, well, first of all, I'm glad the driver's okay, first and foremost. But let's, since he's good. Then the next thing is like, wow, all of that to wait on this thing for 2 months, and now it's like all mangled up in the back of a van. So hopefully most of it will be okay. And for those in the audience, like I said, just kind of keep your ears open. I'll explain some stuff at the end of the show about how some things are going to work with Star City Games, these much sought after jumbos, which we're going to give one of these away later in the show. So Cheryl, this is our biggest box of cards. This has 50 packs in it to play the game and chase autographs and all that sort of stuff. This is the one that if you can get it, it's definitely a lot of bang for the buck in this one. And these are really hard to find, and Star City is gonna have a few of those. So that's kind of cool. All right. So before I move into the next segment to talk with Cheryl, here's something that's really cool for y'all. If in the audience what this is. This is an Alpha BTK. This is got one pack in it from our Alpha edition. Cheryl, no one has found yet the Bo Jackson 1-of-1 card from our very first release. It's still out there somewhere. We've not seen it. We haven't heard anything from it. There are standing offers from people of $100,000 for that card. It could be in this box. We're going to rip this live for whoever wins it. This is I actually nuked a box to get the 2 special OKC hot dogs out of it. And this is the BTK that was in that box. We're going to do that as a givey. And then I'm going to reach in here and take that pack out. We're going to rip it live for whoever wins it. Anything that's in that pack, the winner will get. So let's put that on a 5-minute givey. Everybody, if you're in here, you definitely need to get in on this one. That is an Alpha BTK. And the reason it's white is because these are the ones that went into the release days, and then they went into things like the championship editions, and then the ones that were actually for the shelf, they have different art on it. But so Cheryl,
How exciting! How exciting!
yes, ma'am. I look at your career, and I look at Cynthia's career and what she was able to accomplish in the W, even having it start later, not until 97, and then she still had such an amazing career. You two same age. Of course, you had the ACL injury. Medical stuff wasn't then what it is now. Now most everybody can come back from that unless it's just really catastrophic. But
Exactly.
I look at, and I always try to make sure I keep things in perspective, because you and others that do what you do are able to play a child's game for a living, and that's just so wonderful. It teaches so many life lessons and that sort of thing. But it goes so much broader than that, because I believe sports bring us all together. They create friendships and fandoms and all that sort of thing. And I think back to the great things that we've witnessed in sport. And one of the things that I have always just felt is where the world got robbed was the fact that Bo Jackson got hurt really early in his career and wasn't able to give us what Bo could have been if he would have been able to go the whole way. I really believe with every ounce of my being that Bo Jackson would be in Hall of Fame for baseball and football if he'd have been able to have his career. But when I look at other folks that kind of had an early injury like that could have been just a defining presence in their sport, Cheryl, I think you were right there. Like you're parallel to Bo, having that injury and it kind of cutting you down before you were able to really have that big, long run at it. It not only, I'm sure it sucks for you, but it sucks for the world because we all didn't get a chance to see that. And, I guess, again, it just hit me when I was prepping for this is like, wow, it's really almost the same thing. Like, so much brightness in front, but at the same time, just a wonderful career behind. And one of the things that I'll ask you is like, Bo is really good at just processing that to a way that, this is where I was meant to be. This is what I was meant to be. Is that kind of how it is for you too, that you're just like, that one just wasn't, that's not the way it was supposed to go. And like, I'm going to do all these other amazing things. I'm going to coach. I'm going to be a good role model. I'm going to do these other things. Like, because a lot of people, I think if they were faced with that, I don't think they would have handled that well. And I look at how you handled it. I look at how Bo handled it, and both just amazing that you don't sit around and sulk about it. It sucks. It sucks for you. It sucks for all of us that we didn't get to see it. And just how did that all I guess, how much did the injury kind of define you in your post, again, you can tell I'm not an interviewer, right? But like, I don't even know what I want to ask, but like, I guess how much did the injury itself shape you and kind of where you went after your playing days, I guess?
I will say this. I don't know how Bo handled his, but I know for me, it was a great turning point for me as a human being, for my character, and for my sanity. Because the one thing that I thought was me, Cheryl Miller is basketball, and basketball is Cheryl Miller. Well, what happens now that Cheryl doesn't play? Who is Cheryl? And it got dark. I'm not going to lie. It got dark. And when there's no longer the crowd cheers and aren't you Cheryl Miller? Didn't you used to play? Well, what happened? Where is she at? I had to find a real quiet space, Jeff. And okay, I can't allow this to turn me into something that I'm not, which is being bitter. What's happened, like you said, Jeff, has happened. Can't change it. And I had a really great career.
For sure. Yeah.
And now what's next? What's my plan B that's going to bring me as much or as close as basketball, that joy? And somehow somebody made the mistake of putting a microphone in my hand, Jeff.
There you go.
That's all she wrote.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yep. That's awesome.
So that allowed me to not only transition into a different career, but Jeff, honest to God, to have a come to Jesus with, I will never, ever let a career, an activity, a position, or a crowd, or a label to define me. And I took that time to find out who I am, all alone, by myself. And I realized I really do like myself. And I may not like all the things I do, but I know I got a great heart. And I love being around people. And I love giving. And so having that type of awareness and having that spirit of wanting to be of service and to make sure that I'm always checking my ego and being humble. Now I'm just 100% comfortable in my skin.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. You could probably tell as I was asking, because I'm as introverted as they come.
You're a fine interviewer.
I'm a huge introvert, and like asking that question, I didn't even know how to get that one out.
No, because it's for some people. I'm not gonna song and dance someone out there, because there's a lot of people that have had tragedies, life altering tragedies, loss of limbs, loss of eyesight, loss of a parent, the death of a loved one. I mean, catastrophic, near-death experiences. So I can't play basketball anymore.
Yep. And that's what I just try to keep in perspective, like I said earlier, because I recognize that there's a lot of other stuff in life that people deal with that are um, way worse than a blown ACL. I get that, life, right? And and we always try to keep it in perspective. But over here, we're, again, it's just the sports and the culture of that is a big is a big piece of what we want to do. So I'm told here that we have a winner for this BTK, Cheryl, and I'm going to rip this open. And the other thing I'm also told is that we need to run Nancy's card. So go ahead and put that one up as the next Givey, Tony, and then probably after that we're going to hit the big jumbo.
It's running.
It is running. And I actually had this too, like I wanted to give away. I'm going to run this too after the Nancy card. If you don't know what this is, so Cheryl, this is actually when before we did the deal with Bo Jackson, we were going to be Battle Arena. And
Right. I remember that.
and so like I was in this kind of in between phase of how it was all going to come together. This is like the only product you can find out there that we ever made that has the word Battle Arena absent Bo's name. And this is one of those things that nowhere in a million years did I think this would ever be something people would care or want, because it was just, we gave these away at a card show. We couldn't give them away. We couldn't give them away. Like, we came home with a whole bunch of them. We ended up putting a bunch of them in the shredder box. And so these are super, super rare. They don't pop up very often, but we were going to have you on, and I wanted to really reward the audience that tuned in with us. So after we do the Nancy card, the Lady Magic, we're going to do this, and then we're going to do the big jumbo box, and then we're going to hand everybody off to Bazooka and let them do that, or go into their stream. So we're going to open this and see what we can get out of here and see if we might be able to hit that big bow. And while I'm doing that, Cheryl, we did get a few questions that the audience wanted to ask you. So maybe I'll let you hit a couple of these while I break into this thing. One was, what was your favorite moment at the National? And I know you guys do so much as athletes, but specifically as it relates to us and being there with us at the National, what would you say was your favorite moment of that? Yeah, boss.
Wow. Yeah, you're putting me on the spot. Couple things. Number one, I'm there for two things. I'm there for the BoBA, which I was excited and nervous about. And then I was there to sign my cards. What's different for me is you walk in and there's memorabilia everywhere. Jerseys, baseball bats, helmets, footballs, basketball, baseballs, hockey puck, everything. And you see, professional athletes from every sport moving around and signing and sitting down and doing that. And it was neat, overwhelming. And then I'm signing tons and tons of these little tags. And then my agent, after I was almost finished, she's like, well, here, these are Bo's cards. These are your cards. And I, open the packages and I look at them. I'm like, wait, there's not a tag. I don't have to sign a tag. When you've been there for like 8 hours, it seems like, and you're signing tags and your eyes are watering and stuff. Now I actually get to sign me? Are you kidding me? So I was sitting, but that's passive. But eventually I was able to go back to my hotel room and take my time, sign these cards, look at the different artwork and designs, the different colors and stuff. And it's a different joy. It was a different joy. And then to actually go to the event.
So Cheryl, if I could just pause for a minute, what you're referring to as the tags, we call that stickers. The stickers that get stuck on car with your autograph, right? That's what you mean, right?
It's still my autograph, but there's something different. Okay, I'll only speak for myself, Jeff.
Okay.
There's something different for me where it's very personal, and I do take my time on the stickers. Because that's my responsibility and that's my job, and I like to do things and keep my bar high. But when you're holding your car, you're looking at yourself, you're like, yeah, you good looking. Oh my God.
That is a fine looking card. That is a fine looking card.
I'm a fine looking. Look at, man, yes, my guns look like that when I played back in the day. But it's a little more personal for me. So and then to actually get to the event, Jeff, you talking about what you say. First of all, let me go back a little bit. And if I'm running into or not following where you need me to be. Please just.
No. This is all your stage. If you're okay with it, we may run over 5 or 10 minutes since we had a little tough difficulties at the beginning.
As long as I want people to understand. Growing up, we were a game family from Monopoly, playing spades, all the games, flag football, Candyland, and all the checkers, chess, anything.
With 3 athletes at the highest level in that family, by the way. So, like, that had to be hella competitive in your house.
It was definitely, before it was coin win or go home.
Right.
It was pretty much win or go up to your room. That was it. But when I said, well, describe the game to me, guys. Describe this game, because I'm like, I hope it's not too complicated, because I don't want to embarrass myself, because it takes me a little time to process things, and I'm being put on the spot. And someone goes, it's like the card game War. And I go, like a regular card deck War? And they're like, I'm like, the game War, like War you deal, and I'm like, I said, shut your mouth. It's like War? And I'm like, okay, I'm all in now. I'm all in, because back in the day, that's what, before we got older, my parents and my brothers and sisters, we played War.
Yep.
But it was a rotating chair. So when you got me, you had to bounce, keep it moving.
Yep. Cheryl, I really think that's one of the things that really just lets a lot of people realize they can enjoy Bo Jackson Ballerina, is because you can play it literally like you just said. It just basically War. It's all about building the right deck, which collectors love, and then going head to head and playing War. We have much more complicated game modes that you can ascend into. You were only there for what we call Madness, and Madness is team War for $100,000 prize. Like, this year it's over $500,000 prize. We're gonna have to get you at the national instead of this year, though. We got to get you on a team this year. Like, is that something that you would be open to if we could maybe try to make the logistics work out with your schedule?
But you have to do a couple things. Number one, the number one priority for me, if I'm going to,
all right, I'm gonna take notes.
I got to check obviously with my agent, but you got to help me build my deck. You got to help me.
I have some folks that I think would definitely be willing to do that. If I tell them that, hey, Cheryl Baum needs some help with her deck and needs to be a fourth on a team, yes. I think I could help you out there. So,
and Jeff, the other thing, real quickly, and I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
That brought great joy to my heart was watching dads and their sons, mom and their sons and daughters, just the family atmosphere, whether they were side by side with their kid or standing behind them, but it was a family atmosphere. Yeah. And to walk into BoBA and table after table is competitive, yes, but yeah, there's so much activity and fun and enthusiasm and competitiveness and girls and boys. I'd like to see more females. We got to get more females.
Hey, we work. I'm a girl dad. I told you that national. I got 2 of them, and it's very important to me. So you don't have to tell me. Say less.
This is the real deal. So, yep. But just to have that family atmosphere was just great to see and be a part of.
That truly warms my heart to hear you say that, and I do think it's a lot of times in cards and collectibles, there's big money at play. There's big money. We hear things like the guy off of Shark Tank, the bald-headed dude, Mr. Wonderful.
I know exactly.
He's going out bragging about buying a $13 million card, and there's all kinds of ripple effects on all that stuff. And even I mentioned what people want to pay for the Bo card. It is a signal to the market that something is desired. Right. It is an important piece of all of this. I concede that point 100%, and we want to respect that and be a part of that. Okay. Yes. But at the same time, I think it is a lot of times that people don't. Not as many people love cards. They just love the idea of the financial windfall that can come from cards. And when you walk into the BoBA booth in any BoBA event, yeah, that's there. People want their collections to hold value, but they also genuinely and truly love what they're doing. And so that's something that I think is just great. So Tron 3177 is the winner of this BTK. So we're going to ship you the BTK. You're going to get everything that's in there. I did pull the alpha pack out as promised, and I'm going to bust this open. I don't have one of the face down cameras, so if I I'll hit something big, I'll show it to the camera. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut straight over to the, oh my word. Oh my word.
Put on my glasses.
We did not hit the Bo Super, but we hit a big card. We got a nuke.
Uh-oh.
We got a nuke. We got a nuke. We got a nuke. It is a bubblegum vampire inspired by Mr. Vlad Guerrero Jr. And his dad signed in the Griffey set, Vlad Sr., the Impaler. That is the inspired card of Vlad Jr., and that is in bubblegum. That's a very rare card. We call that a case hit, Cheryl. That's a case hit card. So that's going to you, Mr. or Miss Tron 3177. And then we did the Lady Magic card. I'm told that the winner that got selected by the Whatnot Gods there was Bing Bop Boom. So the Lady Magic card is going to you. All right, so Tony, 30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds on the alpha, not even alpha. This predates alpha, on the playtest white box here, running 30 seconds. Everyone definitely needs to be in that one. And after that, we're going to run the big jumbo box. And that's going to be something that we're going to have. So Cheryl, it's amazing how fast the time flies to be able to get you here. And I don't know if I changed shirts. Dadgummit, I had to take my other shirt off and I had my sticker on it. Cheryl.
Uh-oh.
I should have put some of these in your pack. Look at that. That's a Cheryl Bomb sticker in there. Oh, you did? They put some in? Okay, awesome. I had this on my shirt earlier, and then when I came in here to sit down, they were like, Jeff, you have to take that shirt off because it's got green in it. So I literally...
No, I've got those.
This shirt... I stole this shirt from Rook Seavers. It's a little funky if I'm telling the truth. I think he must have wore that one of the nights where it was 100 degrees in here. But yeah, Cheryl, so we're just so thankful to have you in the set. So one of the things that when you think about kind of where the power is on your card, some of the other folks that are similar power to you, I actually had this that I was going to kind of tell you about here. So how do you feel about the fact that your power in our game, you're at a 190, right? So the max power, for all intents and purposes, is 200. There is a Bojack's card that goes up. It jumps all the way up to 250, and Griffey has one of those. And then there's another little story about some 250s that I'll save for another time. But 200 is really effectively where everyone runs. Just to give you some names, and this is how highly the team thought of you when we put you into the game. Ewing, he's a 185 as the Hoya Destroyer. Okay. Chris Bosch is a 185. Dominique, who was at the National with you, he's a 185. Brink is a 185. Trey Young, 175. Cheryl Swoops is a 170. Kupanova is a 170. Tim Hardaway, I'm just hitting the basketball folks, 170. Okay. One that's higher than you, and you tell me if this is deserved or not. AI, Allen Iverson, he's a 200. Fair or not fair?
Fair.
Fair. All right.
Yeah, fair.
And then someone else who's the same power as you, Larry Johnson, Grandmama, from those old running rebels at UNLV and the iconic Grandmama commercials. So that's another 190 there. So I definitely had some other stuff that we wanted to cover, but you're kind of blown through our time here. Tony, let's hit the winner on the alpha, and then we'll do on the okay. So Toy-tastic. Congratulations to Toy-tastic. This is coming to you sealed. Congratulations. And now we're going to run the big dog. This is what a lot of people I know kind of came for. It is the jumbo box. So now, tomorrow, everyone, you need to check your emails and check your texts. SCG is going to put that inventory that got in the van crash. It'll go up. I think they're putting it live at 2 o'clock on Wednesday. They have been nice enough. They're going to price at market, but they have been nice enough to give us a code to be able to get $1,000 off jumbos. $1,000 off the jumbos that they're getting. And we're going to send those out. So basically, they said they were going to price at market, but they would give us some $1,000 off codes. And Tony, I almost forgot. We were supposed to do that flash sale. I promised it earlier, those hobby. Give me the hobbies at $475, and I'm going to leave them uncut. $475, and give me 4 cases. So a chance for y'all to grab some hobby boxes. I know people are excited to get their hands on some of those. And then we'll do that giveaway. And so Cheryl, we'll let those things run in the background. And so what's up next for you, Cheryl, in the coming weeks and stuff ahead? Anything big that you're doing? Any big travel or anything fun that you're going to be doing? Just let me know when you're ready with that flash sale, Tony.
Just got a couple of award shows, and that's about it. Not to do any docious things, but watching our Women of Troy play right now, and just making sure we can hit the playoffs and stuff in the NCAA and watching them blossom without Juju Watkins. And
Yeah, Juju. So she's going to be back next year, right? She's taking a whole year off.
yeah,
right.
she's and great decision. Great decision.
So
But it's
do
been
you think she'll redshirt and stay for 2 more years? Because I know that with NIL, it changes everything. There's really not any pressure to go to the W financially, right? So you think she'll stay for 2
more
more?
money in college. You're
Yeah.
making more money in college.
Yep.
So that I would do that. I would do that.
Right.
But then
So Tony, go ahead and push that live while Cheryl and I keep talking. So Cheryl, Tony's going to push up some of these hobby boxes and let folks grab some hobby boxes. And so so Juju there, our Gamecocks this year, our Lady Gamecocks, they're definitely having a bit of an off year this year. So it's just one of those things. I mean, Dawn has had that team crushing for the last decade plus now. So
well, the team right now for everybody, UConn is OKC. Basically it's theirs to lose because I just don't see anyone. There might be a few teams with a puncher's chance, but man, you talk about having to play a perfect game against UConn and Gino.
And what's the young lady's name? What's the young lady's name that is kind of the lottery pick this year? That's Peanut Butter Bucket's former teammate there. Ozzie Fudd. Yeah, she'll be 1-1, right? Will she be the top overall pick?
Oh yeah, she'll probably get the number one.
Gotcha.
And Dallas has the number one pick.
Right, they won the draft lottery. So yeah.
Why wouldn't you have get back together?
Yep.
Together down in Dallas.
Yeah, we need to try to front. I tell you what's one thing that's really hard for autographs. It's really hard because Panini is leaning very aggressively into the WNBA. So a lot of the top draft picks, they go and sign exclusives. So it's kind of hard to get them in our product right away. Because they just sign exclusives with Panini, so it's kind of tough to get them right off the rip like that. So it's hard to get. I know. I don't want them to speak. I think both Caitlin and Paige Beckers, they're both exclusive trading cards with Panini, and they're both memorabilia exclusive with Fanatics. It's kind of a weird deal for them, but they're obviously two monster names. All right, Tony, I think we got almost everybody in the chat in the giveaway. So why don't you run it? Let's see who wins this. Yep, let's do it. And then you can set up that raid to head for Bazooka.
Okay, here we go. Spinning right now.
Big box right here, everybody. Big box. This is a big spin right here. Last one of these on eBay sold for
Michaela Gomez 2.
Congratulations, Michaela Gomez 2. This will be coming out to you. The last one of these that I saw on eBay was a little over $3,000. So that was a great win for you there. So Cheryl, we are going to, when somebody pulls your super auto in this product, we're going to set the record for the highest Cheryl Miller card ever once it's pulled. I did a poll I did a poll in our chat room earlier, and I said, hey, seriously, all BS aside, when the Cheryl Miller 101 gets found with the autograph, what are you willing to actually pay for it? I said, give me real numbers. And the numbers for that autograph card were in the $3,000 to $5,000 range. The highest card you've had sell so far is right at $1,000. It was out of a Panini product a while back. But as soon as your card surfaces out of Bo Jackson Ballerina, we are going to set that record. And so I'll be sure to let you know when that surfaces and somebody pulls it. So, well, Cheryl, this is
me that when I'm sitting at the table with my team.
There we go. So yeah, that's like there's a whole lot to love. It's you, it's your persona, it's your career, it's your accolades, and then it's you as a superhero, and the fact that the card doesn't just sit in a binder. They can play with it, whether it's the war version or a full version. They can do all of that with the card, and that really adds an interesting layer of collectability that people just love. And your super would be very powerful. Right. And the one-on-ones, one of the things that the one-on-ones do in the game, when you're playing war, if you both put down the same number and you both have the same power, if one of the cards is the one-of-one super, it actually breaks the tie. So that super has a built-in tiebreaker. So you would actually beat whoever you were up against if they had that. So, Tony, do you have that raid ready to send everybody over to our friends at Bazooka? So one thing to everybody to note, Bazooka's going to do a nice break tonight. They're going to have some chasers from Alpha Edition to chase the bow. They're going to have Alpha Update to chase the other bow. They're going to have some Blast available as chasers. And then Valley Hit House is also going to be live with a little bit smaller break. And I know Devin and them are going to link over to the Valley, and wouldn't surprise me if there's some other stuff going on. So just have a good, fun evening of BoBA. And as I always like to say, get in where you fit in. And Tony, go ahead and rate them over. And then Cheryl, I guess you and I can stick around for just a second in the background, and I'll be able to tell you goodbye.